Both presidents wanted this summit, which went a long ways toward chipping away at toxic relations. An historic handshake, brief smiles, set the mood early.
The tone of the entire meetings, I guess it was a total of 4 hours, was good.
Biden and Putin each called the diplomatic work here pragmatic, constructive, and free of rancor, not insignificant.
I think there was no hostility, quite the contrary. We don't share the same positions in many areas, but I think that both of these sides showed a willingness to understand one another.
Moscow and Washington cracked open their diplomatic standoff, ambassadors returning to their posts. They'll start talks on new arms control treaties and a framework to beat back cyber hacking.
If in fact they violate these basic norms, we will respond.
But on the red line issues like Ukraine, human rights, Russia's crackdown on dissidents, Putin conceded nothing, saying instead the jailed Alexei Navalny got what he wanted.
This person knew that he was breaching the laws effective in Russia.
The Geneva optics were a risk for Joe Biden, giving the Russian leader a high profile. But Biden calculated it could return dividends.
The last thing he wants now is a Cold War.
Saying they'd take stock in 6 months.
He still is concerned that we, in fact, are looking to take him down. Thank you.
But as the leaders departed, the dissection begins, asking what, if anything, changed on the shores of Lake Geneva.
I think that Putin does not want to have another escalation with the West, not only because it is expensive, but also because the Russian public doesn't want it.
Intentions are fragile, and what Biden seeks, stable, predictable relationship with Russia, that's far from assured.
So, Susan, both leaders clearly being really careful with their words today. And I'm curious, what did you see or hear that speaks to whether there's even a modicum of trust between them at this point?
No, trust is way too big a leap for either of them at this point. Biden backed way off that, saying, let's verify what the Russian president will do, given an opening to improve relations. And for Putin, well, he's often used the U.S. as an enemy for domestic consumption, so that's not his default either. Today could bring about better relations, but it depends on what happens in Moscow and Washington, and none of that is right now built on any newfound trust today, Adrienne.
And so it goes. Susan, thank you. Susan Ormiston in Geneva tonight.